How's everybody doing today?
Going pretty good, Matt. You ready?
Oh yeah, always ready, bro. Ready to hear these awesome speeches?
Hello, welcome to the 2021 Louisiana Boys State General Election Convocation. Our two separate parties have each elected a group of individuals that they feel will best represent them at the state level. This morning, you, the citizens of Louisiana Boys State, will have the opportunity to hear speeches from all of the final 8 candidates. Please be respectful and pay attention to what these candidates have to say. All right, let's begin by introducing all of our candidates. Here to introduce the final 4 candidates for the Federalist Party is the Federalist State Party Chairman, Ibrahim Allah.
Good morning, or for me currently in Lahore, Pakistan, good evening to all of my fellow Boys State citizens. I'm your Federalist State Party Chair, Ibrahim Allah. Today, we're having the elections that will determine the future of our state, and I'm here to present to you the people who I believe to be the best fit for each position. These candidates embody all the core values of the Federalist Party, including leadership, determination, and unity. And these are the candidates that will be able to not only unite the Federalist Party, but all of Boys State and ultimately lead us into a better future. For Attorney General, we have the King, who will represent Boys State, and that is Landon Robinson from Bogafalaya Parish. Next up, for Secretary of State, we have the entrepreneur who ran his own business for 5 years and doubled the budget of his robotics club, Dylan Kennemer, also from Bogafalaya Parish. And your Lieutenant Governor would be the position redefiner and People's Representative, Cameron Brown from Bogafalaya Parish. Last, but certainly not least, your governor candidate, the man who can unite us all, Anthony Wee from Atchafalaya Parish. And I just know that we can do it. And these are the 4 people who can best lead us into the future, not as Federalists and Nationalists, but as citizens of Boys State. So I hope you make the best choice and vote for these candidates. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Now, introducing the final 4 candidates for the Nationalist Party is the Nationalist State Party Chairman, Grant Teveno.
Citizens, my name is Grant Teveno, State Party Chairman for the Nationalist Party. I'm honored to speak before you today and be able to introduce our candidates, who I firmly believe, and many of you have seen, perfectly eclipses the meaning of a memorable candidate. Carter, our candidate for governor, who courageously thrusted himself dozens of feet into a lake for you. Or Ben, Natty's Secretary of State, who had thy most flamboyant drip, who may buy all his clothes from Party City for you. Or Isaac, my official hype man, and our candidate for Attorney General, who is borderline insecure about his height, but nonetheless will fight for you. Or Landon, our dad bod king. He did also jump in a pool for this campaign, so I guess he is Aquaman, but a Taco Bell delivered underwater. These candidates are highly dedicated, hardworking, smart, and passionate about Boys State and continuing the legacy which we have got to experience thus far, as I'm sure the Federalist Party will also tell you. But ask yourself this: can you exemplify all of these qualities and still have fun, laugh, and give everyone a good time? This is what these candidates are about, providing a memorable experience to each of you, one which highlights the importance of civic engagement, but also fellowship. Thank you all very much for your time. Sit back and enjoy our candidates. This has been the Nationalist Party.
To kick off today's speeches, we will begin with the Federalist candidate for Attorney General, Landon Robinson.
Thank you. Hey guys, I'm Landon Robinson of Bogafalaya, and look, I know that everyone here has a list a mile long of their credentials and why they're supposed to be here. And at some point, hearing it over and over and over again, all the experience and awards, it just blends together. And so I want you to remember two things. One, a vote for me just isn't that. Rather, it's a vote for yourself, a vote for us, a vote for Boys State. I'm telling you, I will be able to connect with everyone here, and I assure you, I'll be able to better our great state of Boys State for the future. I understand how the boys think, for I am one with the boys, and the boys are with me, and I know that. I will assuredly keep all matters legal and correct, and I can promise that though I've expressed my loathing of them many times this week, as y'all know, I will not push to outlaw jorts. I will unify Boys State once elected, no matter the party, parish, or city. So, I ask you, for the betterment of Boys State, I say vote for yourself. Vote for the boys. Vote for the boy that represents the boys as king. For Boys State, Attorney General, Landon Robinson. Thank you.
Next is the nationalist candidate for Attorney General, Isaac Kim.
Hello once again, my fellow citizens. I am Isaac Kim of Cameron, Atchafalaya, and I am running for Attorney General. I thank you, gentlemen, for the honor of letting me stand before you today. Today is the day we decide a position of Attorney General. Now, my fellow brothers, I ask you to swing your votes to me. Nationalist or Federalist, we are all here to experience a once-in-a-lifetime moment, and as Attorney General, I shall be far from disappointing. Together, we can push a dream, one of unity, one of justice, a continuing legacy. Quick flex, by the way, what better candidate for Attorney General than a guy who got a 5 on the AP government test and actively participates in mock government? As Attorney General, I will make sure that the government is a well-advised one and the courts a fair function. I may be a mess physically, but I assure you, my resolve has never been stronger. Together, we shall endorse law and reason in the name of our shared great success at LA Boys State. The time for unity is now. Unite, and may our victory spirit shock waves. Gentlemen, we are winding down our time here at Boys State. And let's end it with a bang. We have a dream, my brothers, nationalist or federalist. We are all united in our commitment to democracy and the election process. A commitment I ask for one final time to consider me when you vote today. In conclusion, I, Isaac Kim, your fellow citizen, am running for Attorney General. The name of our brotherhood that we have formed in our short time here, I thank you all for allowing me to come this far, and I'll be greatly honored if you endow your vote to me. Thank you.
From the Federalist candidate for Secretary of State, Dylan Kinnemer.
Hello, my name is Dylan Kennemer, and I'll be running for your Secretary of State this year. Now, we're all here for the same reason. We all heard about a program where the best young men in the state got to come together and build what they've been dreaming about for years. We got to run our own state. We thought, that sounds fun. But why did we agree to come? Why were we willing to stay? Why did we work for 5 days, 10-hour days, losing sleep, staying up all night campaigning? Why were we willing to do that? We came because we all had an opportunity here. We had an opportunity to work in real offices and to have real people working under us. We came because this is an opportunity to follow in the footsteps of men like Neil Armstrong, whose small step and his great leadership ability made such great ripples of impact throughout America. Let me take that small step for Boys State. Let me put in the work this year. I've devoted myself for years to leading and implementing large-scale change. I've taken clubs from near failure and restructured them to help them achieve their goals, nearly doubling their budgets, and have run my own business in excess of $5,000 per year. I can make those same changes here. I just need your help. That's why we're all here, right? We all came to this institution for an opportunity to expand our horizons. And just because there's a global pandemic going on doesn't mean that this year has to be terrible. This has been one of the best boys states we've had in decades. And this is an opportunity to prove that. This is an opportunity to prove that just the platform and the club itself do not make the event. The boys who come to Boys State make the event. This is an opportunity to prove to Louisiana why they sent us here, to prove that we are the best in the state. And this is an opportunity for change. Vote for change, vote for opportunity, vote Dylan Kennemer for Secretary of State. Thank you.
Now, let's hear from the nationalist candidate for Secretary of State, Ben Eagleton.
Hey, Boys State. It's great to see all of you, kind of, I guess. I hope all of you on Zoom this week and all the JCs at NSU had a great time. But really what we're getting into is this conference has really built a family. It's really built a community among us. The memories we've made this week are unmatched, from getting to know our parish like the brotherhood that we are, to joining Discord calls and Snapchatting each other about being a mega chat. These friendships are lasting. They're true bonds made even in a virtual world where we all sit at home waiting for the staff to split us up into breakout rooms. I hope today that you guys feel the love from my end, no matter what city you live in, what side of the Jorts debate you sit on, or even what candidate you vote for. I've talked to a lot of people this week about what really impacted them the most at Boys State, and I got one really good quote from my Federalist brother, Matt McCormick. He said, "The other citizens really impacted me. I feel like the convention would have been a lot more boring without them. The energy they brought was really what Boys State was meant for. I feel like that energy that we brought to the table is insane, but I'm ready to match that energy. I'm ready to act in my role and get work done while still bringing that energy to the top. I feel like we can move together, united as one, to make Boys State better than we've ever had it before." Paulo Coelho said, "When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. So I will strive to be better, and we will make Boys State great. So vote Ben for Secretary of State so that Boys State can be great." Thank you.
And now introducing the Federalist candidate for Lieutenant Governor, Cameron Brown.
When you think of the position of Lieutenant Governor, what comes to your mind first? Do you think of the guy who just stands behind the governor every day and doesn't actually do any work? A man completely useless for the people who he is supposed to represent? This very question is a common assumption used to find lieutenant governors every single day. And while I can't speak for every lieutenant governor in the world, I sure can speak for myself. And I, Cameron Mason Brown, who's running to be your lieutenant governor, will not chain myself to these assumptions. Instead, I will shatter those chains and redefine the state position that for the longest time has been the butt of a joke. The position that once simply served the voice of the governor will now serve and amplify the voice of the people. I will stand true to my beliefs that the people, first and foremost, should be the true leaders of a government's actions, not elected officials. And when I say people, I mean you, every single one of you, no matter which party or parish or city you come from. I want to listen to all of your voices, hear all of your opinions, and give everybody here a fair platform to speak their mind. Yesterday in the town halls, the people that stood out the most to me were the ones who let what they wanted to say be heard with zero restrictions. I got questions about serious political topics and other questions like, are you based? Do you know red pill? And of course, do you pee in the shower? And while these questions were all so different from one another, they all share the common theme of zero restriction. These people let their voices and what they wanted to say be heard, and I sure heard them. And as Lieutenant Governor, I want to encourage all of you to say what you want, in a civilized manner, of course, and contain no fear of who may judge you or whichever allegiance to a Federalist or Nationalist party you may be breaking. Be yourself. Because if we as a collective all express ourselves and our voices in the way that we want to, then we will be truly unified. And that's what I value. Unity, letting yourself be heard, and breaking the mold of whatever a certain standard is. For me, I want to break the mold of what a lieutenant governor is expected to be. And I encourage you to break whichever molds in your life you could break that would allow you to leave a profound impact on whatever you want to. Let yourself be heard, as me letting myself be heard is how I got to this point in the first place. But it's not all because of me. And on that note, I would just like to say how incredibly grateful and honored I am that many of you chose me to be a nominee for this position. I'm here because of you, and I thank you so much for that. So, a vote for me is a vote for a person who truly values your voice and will do whatever he can, regardless of his position, to make sure that you are heard and that you leave an impact. Let's leave an impact together and vote Karen Mason Brown as your new, redefined Lieutenant Governor.
And now, the nationalist candidate for Lieutenant Governor, Landon Tara.
Look, boys, we made it. Pearl, Bogafalaya, Kane, Chadfalaya, Mississippi, city government, parish government, school board, even courts. Yeah, we made it through freaking courts. It's been a long week for all of us. Definitely been a roller coaster ride for us all, but a ride that I'll never regret taking. Now that it's coming to a close, and this is the last speech that I will ever deliver as a Louisiana Boys State citizen, I want to try and leave you with something memorable. But it's so much easier said than done. Last night, whenever I was struggling to write this speech, it wasn't until my JC prompted me with a simple question that I realized how much this program means to me. He said, Landon, if you could describe your Louisiana Boys State experience in one word, what would it be? I paused for a moment. Many words came to mind, but there were two terms that I could really wholeheartedly answer with. First, eye-opening. This experience taught me to never doubt myself. It taught me to never be afraid to reach a hand of friendship out to someone you know absolutely nothing about. And most importantly, I realized what a brotherhood truly feels like. The second term, life-changing. I was a completely different person when I started here. I didn't think that spending a week behind a computer screen with a bunch of strangers would have such an impact on my life. Through all the confusion, schedule changes, Zoom backgrounds, Discord DMs, and yes, even the shades, we all became better leaders. We have made a bond with each other that will never be broken. They will stick with us for the rest of our lives. You aren't going to remember who won your court case or whether we were supposed to submit a case file or a case brief. What you're going to remember is all these connections and relationships. Meeting and connecting with each and every single one of you has been an absolute pleasure of mine. Sitting in this Zoom call is truly the finest young men Louisiana has to offer. Whether I met you through my city, my parish, my party, the Senate, the court, or even Discord, I call you my friend. No, my brother. Louisiana Boys State will forever hold a special place in my heart. I will always remember each and every single one of you and the memories that we created. You guys are now my family. So to my city, my parish, my party, my JCs, my PCs, and all the staff, and importantly, my brothers, thank you. A huge part of me is sad that this is our last day that we will ever be in the same room or Zoom call together. But you know, let's go out with a bang. I would be honored to lead Boys State as your Lieutenant Governor because of how important this class means to me. Louisiana Boys State class of 2021 deserves a Lieutenant Governor who is passionate about listening and making connections with each and every single one of you. And I can promise wholeheartedly, I am that guy. So please, I humbly ask that you vote for me, Landon Taro, to be your Lieutenant Governor. Thank you, and I love you, boys.
And now we'll hear from the Federalist candidate for governor, Anthony Weed.
Hello, fellow citizens. Today, I stand on this virtual stage as a candidate for the Louisiana Boys State Governor. Now, I want to start this speech off by explaining this position. A governor, to simply put, is a public servant of all citizens. He shouldn't be for just his national supporters, nor his federal supporters, but for all of his state, those who voted for and against him. He should not be above his citizens. After all, Huey P. Long once said, "Every man a king." Even the Pledge of Allegiance tells us to be indivisible, a nation under God. However, how can we be united when we have phrases such as "better dead than fed" or "gnats pour their milk first before their cereal"? Now, Mr. Cox today will argue for this idea of change, but change can only be accomplished with unity. Take a look at our current government. Politicians on both sides are in a constant gridlock battle, refusing to agree on the most common and basic laws. They make all of their fancy promises, but never ending up satisfying their voters. I here am running on the notion of using a common sense mindset. I know I said this over and over again, but I truly want to revolutionize our education system. I truly want to preserve our disappearing wetlands. I truly want to lower the unemployment and crime rates. I truly want to fix the reoccurring drainage issues. And I truly just want to improve the lives of Louisianans in general. Now, I just laid all of these possible legislations on you. And I know that since this is a mock government, none of these will ever see the light of day. However, I plan to use this role, the governor of Louisiana Boys State, not as a resume filler, no, but as a key to opening up the doors to solve real life problems in our changing world. Since I was a little kid, I had an ever-growing love in politics. I believe that these same public servants have the ability to directly influence the lives of others in a way that is different from other jobs. I've always strived to better my community, to better my school, to better my parish, and with experience from this program, to better my state and my countrymen. President John F. Kennedy, in his 1961 inaugural address, said that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans. I believe that once again, we are at a similar turning point in American history. I believe that Chads, Foamies, Falians, people of Pearl Parish, Federalists, Nationalists, and all of the great citizens of Louisiana are to be in this next generation. I will make one promise to you. From this day forward, and no matter who wins the election, I will work just as hard to improve our state as the song Astronaut in the Ocean Without Autotune hits. And believe me when I say it hits hard. Fellow citizens of Louisiana Boys State, I want to begin this journey with you. Please join and elect me, Anthony Wee, as your next governor, because together we can do it.
Now, the nationalist candidate for governor, Carter Cox.
Good afternoon, delegates of Boys State. My name is Carter Cox, and as you know, I'm running for the position of governor. Ever since my first speech at Boys State, my message has been simple: to address the major problem in our country, change. My problem with change is that many people will advocate for change, but go no further than that. As governor of Boys State, I will not only advocate for change, but I will make it my duty to get each and every one of you involved in the process so that I can guarantee that change happens. Now, I know many of you are thinking, change sounds great, but how will you make that happen? As we've seen time and time again, people in positions of power go through the same process of presenting a policy and then proceeding to not follow through on the said policy. Now, this can normally be attributed to one of two factors, either lack of effort by the candidate or just going about the process in the wrong way. With me as governor, neither one of these will be a factor. In order to avoid going about the process in the wrong way, I will use innovation to figure out new ways to make sure that everyone's voice is heard on a certain issue. Throughout this week, I've proven to y'all that I can be innovative. In a year where communication was limited, I went out to make what I believe to be the first ever Boys State video campaign ad. Now, this ad leads me into my second point. As governor, I will guarantee that I will make my full effort in each action that I make. I hope that I've shown to y'all that I will give my full effort in every action by coming through on my campaign promises. Earlier in this week at the Nationalist Convention, I made a promise that if I was selected to run as governor for the Nationalist Party, I would find a lake and jump into it. So being the man of my word that I am, after receiving the nomination, I went out and found a lake and jumped right into it. Now, my third reason for why we will be able to make change with me as governor of Boys State is you. Boys State is a convention that has been hyped up to be an awesome experience, but this year it was forced to be online. Even though we knew this year would not be the same awesome experience, we still showed up each and every day. This shows me that y'all are dedicated to this process, and that is what we need to be successful. As governor, I will utilize my skills to make your voices heard. I will champion each and every one of your ideas and find ways to bring them to life. I will make sure that you know that your ideas are significant and that they can cause change. I will unite Boys State behind the cause of making the greatest state there has ever been. With my time winding down, I wanted to leave you with a quote by famous poet Marshall Mathers. If you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you wanted in one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip? Boys, I ask you to elect me to be your governor so I can empower you to take this phenomenal opportunity that Boys State has given us and turn it into something great. Thank you for your consideration for governor, and remember, vote Cox.
Thank you to our candidates and congratulations on making it to the general election. Now it's time for the citizens of Louisiana Boys State to cast their ballots. Over the last several days, you have been divided into two political parties, the Nationalists and the Federalists. This morning, you've heard the perspective of all 8 candidates. Clearly, there's tension between voting with your party and voting with your conscience. Today, you make a choice for what matters more. The strongest power you have as a citizen is the ability to cast your vote on election day. One man, one vote, one opportunity to decide who should represent what you believe. Voting is a right, and voting is also your responsibility. We'll leave the manner in which you exercise that right to you. At this time, we will begin the voting process for state officers. We will be doing this through a different platform than your local elections to ensure secure voting and tallying of the election results. Navigate to the top of your screen and click the general election link, which will open the ballot for this election. The ballot will remain open for 5 minutes. We will announce when 1 minute remains in the voting period, and once the polling period closes, we will take a brief intermission while the election commissioner certifies the ballot. The ballot is now open. 1 minute remaining in the voting period. Please make sure that your ballots are submitted. The ballot is now closed. The Louisiana Boys State Election Commissioner will now tally the votes. Everybody just sit tight. We'll get you the results shortly.
That remix was fire.
I second that.
All right.
What happens when you loop the same message and song like 8 times?
I'm just waiting for a big beat drop to come up, but nothing.
It never happened, and then we got to the ads.
We have a
Then
motion
just
and a
silence.
second. We're waiting for a verbal vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 There's no option to say nay, so therefore we are good.
2 days ago, the parish parties of Louisiana Boys State chose 27 candidates for the state party conventions. 2 days ago, those conventions reduced the number to 8. Yesterday and today, you've heard those 8 candidates describe their vision for the future of this state. But after today, there will be only 4 who you have chosen as the elected officials of Louisiana Boys State. It is now time to announce who they are. I, William Hogan, Commissioner of Elections for Louisiana Boys State, hereby declare that these are the official results of the Louisiana Boys State general election held on the 25th of June, 2021, that these results have been properly sealed and that they have not been tampered with. All members of the Board of Canvassers, having agreed that these are the official results of the 2021 Louisiana Boys State general election and that they have not been tampered with, I shall now proceed to open and announce the results. For the office of Attorney General, the candidates were, for the Nationalist Party, Isaac Kim, and for the Federalist Party, Landon Robinson. And the winner of the 2021 Attorney General election is Mr. Isaac Kim of the Nationalist Party. Congratulations. Moving to the next election, for the office of Secretary of State, the candidates were, for the Nationalist Party, Mr. Ben Eagleton, and for the Federalist Party, Mr. Dylan Kinnemer. And the winner is, from the Nationalist Party, Mr. Ben Eagleton. Congratulations. For the office of Lieutenant Governor, the candidates were, from the Nationalist Party, Landon Tarrow, and for the Federalist Party, Cameron Brown. And the winner of the 2021 Lieutenant Governor's race is Mr. Landon Tarrow from the Nationalist Party. Congratulations. And finally, the election for the highest office in Louisiana Boys State, that of governor. The candidates were, from the Nationalist Party, Mr. Carter Cox, and for the Federalist Party, Mr. Anthony Wee. And in the closest election of the day, the winner of the 2021 governor's election for Louisiana Boys State, from the Nationalist Party, Mr. Carter Cox. Congratulations. Congratulations to all of our state office winners. As we break in just a moment, could the newly elected governor of Louisiana Boys State please join SC Ortego in the Magnolia Room immediately following this call for a quick briefing. As for everyone else, we will now recess for lunch. Please return to the Louisiana Boys State room before 2 p.m. for our awards convocation. Thank you.